Hello there and welcome to Chipola College Television. This is Chipola Talks. Chipola's where we are. Talk's what we're going to do. But I've got a young lady here with me today that can talk through her book. We're going to talk about her book here in just a minute. But we do have a lot of talented kids, and especially here at Chipola, and I'm sure that's true at every college. That's why they go to college. But sometimes they get out in right field a little bit and do some extra stuff, and it does extremely well. And she seems to be doing well. We're going to talk about her book today. Who do I have with me today?
I'm Brittany Hawes.
Hi, Brittany. Quit squeezing my hand. Do you work out every day?
I wish. I need to.
I'm just kidding. Now, where do you live, Brittany?
I live right in Chipola, Florida.
Right in Chipola. You're a student at Chipola.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your major?
My major right now is communications.
Well, very good. Well, this seems like you've been communicating real well with it. Now, your nationality, your skin's a little darker than mine. What, if someone said, what nationality are you? We're all Americans, but what's your background?
African American.
African American. Have you traced your ancestry back?
Oh, no, I've been interested in doing that, actually, but I've never just...
You need to do that. .com, and you can do that. Well, now, you're a sophomore?
Yes, sir.
At Chipola, and you're a communication major. After you finish Chipola, what are you going to do? Do you know yet what you're going to do?
Well, I was planning on transferring to FSU and continuing to get my bachelor's in my communications.
Very good.
And after that, try to find a job in writing.
Yeah,
That's what I want to do.
10 years from now, what do you want to be doing?
I still see myself writing pretty much. Yeah. I want to do like screenplays, and I just want to do anything that can let me use my skills in writing.
Well, now, I'm holding the book in my hand right here of yours, and this is called Twisted. Brittany Hawes. Is that the way you say it, Hawes?
It's Hawes.
Hawes, a little more huh? Well, you might as well get used to people mispronouncing your name, because let me tell you, all those guys you're going to be kissing up to get that real good job, if they mispronounce it, you'll say, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
That's just how you say it.
Right now, how many pages we got? About 250 pages.
Around that much.
With this size book. Well, now, how long did it take you to write this?
It took me around 2 years, because I started writing it when I was a senior in high school, and I finished it when I was 19. So I started when I was 17 years old.
Why did you want to write a book, Brittany?
Well, when I was growing up, I always wanted to read. I was always reading, and I just knew that when I was reading, I never had a book that I could really relate to. And there was this lady named Toni Morrison. I read a quote from her, and it's like, if there's not a book out there, then you need to write it. So.
Then write it. That's pretty neat. And I've heard that before, but I didn't know who said it. Well, now, Twisted, that sounds a little strange here. Now, Twisted, are you twisted? I heard you're real strange. No, Twisted, where did you get the name for the book?
Well, it came from the girl, the main character in the book. She gets caught up in a lot of stuff that she didn't mean to be, so I just thought Twisted sounded good.
Do you use the word twisted in the book anywhere?
I think I used it a couple of times in there.
All right, now what is the storyline? That might be the best next question. All you've got in here is prologue, chapter 1, 2, 3, all the way through 20. So it doesn't say what it actually happens in there. What's the storyline? Tell me a little bit about the book.
Well, it's the girl is named Lola Phillips, and she lives in Los Angeles. And her parents went missing when she was only 8 years old. You've never been to
Los Angeles? I'm kidding. Go ahead. And then what happened?
And then her parents went missing when she was only 8 years old. And she ended up having to live on the streets in Skid Row. And she's just been trying to struggle to survive there. And one day, this mysterious man comes up to her, and he offers her his help in finding her parents. And she's like, okay, because she's like on the last whim and stuff. So once she accepts his help, she starts going on this really big, crazy adventure. She starts getting like twisted and stuff.
Too much. We want to buy the book. So if someone says, what kind of book would you say? Would you say an adventure mystery? What is it? What do you say?
I would call it a spy thriller.
Spy thriller? Well, you know, in the library they have sections in the book, you know, Where do you think they'll put yours?
I guess it'd be cool to put it in like maybe mystery.
Mystery? Is it a mystery?
Oh, it is. It gets you really caught up in it and stuff.
Well, now, you read some at a talent show lately. I wish I had worked with you a little bit on that. Nothing wrong with what you read, but you should have won the contest, you know, because you're the only one there who wrote a book. Some of them thought they could sing, some of them thought they could play. Had a dancer, had a singer.
Oh, yeah.
But you did good. You really did do good. You were nervous a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Have you had a book signing yet?
I have had one at my old high school, actually, for the Black History program. I had a book signing there, and it went really good. It was my first one, and it couldn't have went better.
Did that do you good? Did a lot of the kids know you already, though, right?
Oh, yeah, because I only graduated there 2 years ago,
yeah.
So upperclassmen all knew me.
Well, now, I've asked you to read a little bit in here, but right before we read, let me go a little further. When did you get the idea for the book? I mean, when did it just come to you in the middle of the night, or how did that happen? Do you remember any particular one moment you said, yes, that'll work?
Well, when I think about it, all I knew is I wanted an African-American heroine in a different type of situation than, like, most books I read. African-American heroines are usually, I don't know, they just aren't in the setting that I would actually want to read about. And so I just thought about that, and somehow I came up with Lola Phillips and H Corporation, and it just went from there.
Do you know anybody named Lola?
Actually, I don't.
You know some Phillips, though, right?
I do know a couple of Phillips.
Well, not a popular. I guess it is popular. There's Phillips in every hometown, I think, in America. When you started writing, did you know how it was going to end?
I had an idea, but as I kept writing, it started changing on me. So it's like just growing with me.
Well, most of it takes place when she's how old?
When she's 17.
17. Sort of like the age you were when you started writing the book.
Yes.
Well, is there any truth in it?
Any truth? No, not
Are you telling the truth now? Well, that's good. I mean, you know, some people like to write about what they've actually lived. So you didn't run away from your parents and they didn't throw you away. So I guess that's going to. All right, I think on page 244 is where I wanted you to read. Let me see if I can find it with my Dollar Tree glasses here. We did say 244, and you are going to be a communication major, so you need to really learn to read expressively so that the people who are listening will know. Read just 2 or 3 paragraphs, whatever you want to read.
Okay. I rolled along the field of snow for a while until I finally came to a slow halt, face down. My whole body was tingling with numbness from the snow caked over my entire body. I pushed myself up on my elbows, feeling like my whole body was numb from the packed snow. I was just climbing to my feet when I noticed a blur of movement from the corner of my eye. I dodged to the side, barely missing another one of his shoves. I tried to run, but my foot slipped and I ended up falling. I rolled over on my back to push myself up, but instead found myself face to face with a gun.
Well, now, that is great. You know something? You're near the end of the book here. So there's about 25 more pages in there, and there's several more chapters. We don't want to ruin the ending, but does it turn out happy or sad? Don't answer. What do you think? Let's let them read it to discover. What do you think?
It's going to be a good ending.
So, if I read this, how much of the books, can I ask that, or is that something we don't talk about?
How many books are there going to be?
How much does it cost?
Oh, right now it's only $11.
That's all? Well, I want to buy one. Can you do that? You're going to personally sign it, right?
I will.
And let me buy this, and I'll read it. And that's good. But it is exciting, right?
It is really
exciting. Read that. Now, you read that so good, a lot better than you read it that Deadburn Talent the other day. If you'd have read just that, and yeah, I'm just kidding. I think you still should have won it. How long? You said 2 years?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever bog down and couldn't go any forward? You had to wait a few days before you started again, or does it just keep coming out of you?
Oh, man, I had to stop and, like, wait for maybe a week or so because I would just have writer's block.
Yeah.
And I would just think about it, like, what should I do next? And then it would come back to me after a while.
Well, she obviously gets in trouble a lot, or situations to get out of, because you got that many chapters in there. Is there any one chapter better than the other one?
Well, my favorite chapters are probably the ones that have to do with her and her love interest, because I love romance, and those are probably my favorite
You told me you didn't have a boyfriend since you started writing this book because you didn't have time to fool with him.
Oh, I don't, but she does.
So this is wishful thinking? Is that what you're telling me, Brittany?
I don't know.
No. So you are in it just a little bit.
I don't know. I tried to make it sure that it wasn't about me.
Yeah, right.
I wish I could be more
like her.
like
What did your mother say when she read the book?
Oh, she's reading it right now, and she's almost done with it, and She seems like she really, really loves
it. Did she
it.
dislike anything in it? Did you write anything? She said, Brittany, you shouldn't have mentioned that. Did she said that?
Oh, no. I was a little embarrassed about, like, maybe, like, the kissing scenes because she's my mom. But she was like, oh, I love those parts, so.
Yeah. Well, your mother works at the tech school, right?
Yes, sir.
So she's an educated person.
She is.
So that means she probably, has she given you any advice, or was she giving it to you as you wrote it? Did she say, don't say it that way, say it this way? No?
I actually kept it a surprise from her. I didn't tell her until it was actually accepted to be published.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, she was like, oh, you should have let me proofread it, and you should have done this and that. So she wants to be a big part of it.
Well, Brittany, I appreciate you coming here today, and you can get this on Amazon. Do we have her website that we can stick up somewhere? Whichever camera might have that on it. Is that correct? www.brittanyhawes.com. And you go to that website, and it's got 2 or 3 places they can buy the book.
Yes, sir.
You got some pretty pictures on that website?
I like to think so.
Well, you're pretty, so you need to put your face on there a lot. Well, Brittany, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you giving your life to writing, because there's a lot of us idiots out there like me that need others to do this kind of work. Let me just see what it says on the back here. 19-year-old Brittany does not have a boyfriend. If you're interested, call that number. If you have a sports car and you're rich and you live near the beach, and you can underwrite my next 14 books. Now, it gives a little bit about the story on the back, so it's pretty good. Folks, let me encourage you to buy it. I'm going to buy this one from her today, and it ought to be good. But, Brittany, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Folks, you've seen it right here on Chipola College Television. You got an idea for a show, don't call and tell me the idea. Call and tell me who's going to come in and talk about the idea. We've done this many times. We've had several authors on here. This one I'm excited about because I want to see if she's telling the truth in here about herself. Even though she's never been to L.A. and she's never been to the poor side of town in L.A. But anyway, I want to do that. But I appreciate her, but most of all, I appreciate your watching and supporting Chipola College Television.